I think I mentioned it before. I have pretty flexible hours in my job, except in winter, of course. Then I got to be plowing snow. But today is one of them nice, cool days that we don't often get. So I stay at home and work. Otherwise, a lot of days I'll stay at home and work until noon, then eat dinner, and head into work. Sit in the air conditioner all day. I can still get in 8 hours because we got long days. But that way I can get my work done in the morning while I'm still fresh. Then I can relax in the grader all afternoon. Works out well. But in the mail, this actually came in the regular mail, and it had me puzzled because it was in my UPS box, but it's the size that makes the difference. You know, couldn't get it in the regular box. This is a new saw blade for my table saw, because I've been ripping these popple planks, and she's been kicking the saw out now and again. You know, they're over 2 inches, and they don't cut real easy. So it could be, you know, the blade that I have on here, I have used for a long time, and I cut a lot of hardwood with it. You know, it's carbide tip, but I think it's just gradually wearing down. So I searched around and found one that is a special rip blade. You know, because the one that's in there is a combination. Well, this is a rip blade. And again, it's carbide, made in Italy. So we'll see how this works. We'll see if it, I should be able to tell pretty quickly. But in theory, it's a flat blade. You know, there isn't an offset to it. And it's coated with something they refer to as ice, so it doesn't drag. And it's got pretty good expansion joints in them, you know, to take the heat and stay flat. So we'll see. It wasn't cheap. I think this might have been close to 50 bucks, and that's the most I've ever spent for a table saw blade. But for ripping, it might be worth the money. It was worth a try. Though, thinking about it, I could very well have the circuit breaker on the saw might be getting weak too, because I've had this saw for a heck of a long time. You know, this is an old Delta. At the time they sold for like 100 bucks, and I have just used the snot out of that saw. It amazes me how long that's lasted. So it could be that I need to replace that circuit breaker. You know, that might be getting weak. But we'll see how this works. You know, it might be worth the money. You know, the idea is that it makes a very precise cut. You know, flawlessly. You know, so that it's, you know, you get a good straight surface. You know, because a lot of times after I cut with this regular, well, then I'll have to go back to the planer, you know, and knock it smooth. Well, in theory, if we get this set up right, shouldn't have to planer. She should be precise. So we'll see. They say it's worth a try. It is a solid 1/8 inch kerf. So, you know, because most time, like this one now, the teeth are offset, you know, because it's a combination blade. Well, this is a rip blade, so we'll see what happens. Oh, and I never did show this, but it came in the mail the other day, that Robert Sorby Slick. And it's nice. I've been using that, and I'm impressed with it. That is one heavy, solid piece of machinery. But if you were to drop that on your toe, I think it would take off the end of the shoe and the toes and the whole works. She is sharp and she is heavy. But the difference between this and a chisel, you know, this is made to push by hand, to operate by hand. Whereas the chisel is made to hit with a mallet. I did get a smaller corner chisel too. I'm getting stuff in the mail all the time, but it's because, like I said, I don't like to run into town, and usually in town I can't find the stuff I'm looking for. So I order online. There I can find the best deal on what I'm looking for. And I don't think that's too uncommon because I'd swear, when I'm out on the road grader, I never used to see that UPS truck and FedEx truck all over the place. They're going constantly. And hardly a day goes by I don't meet them on the road someplace. Well, I don't think a day has went by every time I'm out. I'm dodging UPS trucks. Well, this is another tool that I had a particular interest in, a small adze. And the name is not, I think it's Swiss, pfeil, feel, don't know. But, it's funny, we got an arrow point, yeah, you hit it this way, well yeah, I hope so. Ain't gonna do you much good any other way. But I had the bigger one, which is made to operate standing, and to work down. But there are times, now a particular piece I was working on here now, I could have used it. I was able to do it with the slick, but I like the look of that. And it's nice, unfinished handle, so I can just hit that with pine tar right away. And the handle, I believe, is ash. Little corner chisel that I got, I think it was made, comes from Czechoslovakia, I think. But that, the handle is hornbeam, which is ironwood. But yeah, I think that'll be okay. I think I can make good use out of this. I have another one like this that I was going to put a shorter handle on, but it didn't have the pawl on it. But there's a difference in the angle. Like I say, this is more flat down because it's a longer reach. You can see, this one's curved a lot shorter. So for working by hand, I think that'd be a handy tool. And I did get the other set of tires that'll go on the front. So one of these days, I'll go at them. And I'll do a video on that, though I don't know, split rims aren't for everybody. But they're not something really to be afraid of. But I'll do a video on them. You don't have to watch it, but because it's just going to be fighting a tire. Because any tire is a fight, split rims are a particularly vicious fight that can turn on you. You hear horror stories about them, and I've never had a problem, but I'm careful in what I do. In this one, I put this handle on. This is the problem where I ordered a handle that was bent, and got a hold of me, sent me a straight handle, and this is a good handle. And there again, this was hickory, but I put pine tar on it, and it really turned out nice. So that's a good tool, but like I say, a lot of times for finer close-up work, a little handle would be dandy. But now I will have to put on pine tar. But I always have a jug of that brewed up, and I'll swap my blade out and see. Because it's, some of these, when you're cutting down to 2-inch, or something that's like 2 1/8, and then you hit it with the table saw, she can grind. So we'll see. I think part of the problem is that it's a soft wood, but in a way, sometimes like softwood cuts harder than hardwood because it's fuzzy. It doesn't cut as cleanly. I run into that with the chainsaw even. Cutting basswood, ripping planks out of basswood is actually harder than ripping them out of ash. I'm getting sprinkled. I better get my valuable goods tucked away. It might be the end of the day.